Hey guys, it's me, the Connector. Today we'll be discussing who the strongest players on the Unstable SMP are, and we'll break down each player by their gameplay, abilities, and more. Make sure to subscribe for weekly uploads, and let's jump into this. We'll start from the weakest players and work our way to the strongest. I'll also explain why each player is ranked where they are, along with some interesting details. Spoke is the first person we saw upload on the Unstable SMP. He became known as a genius manipulator and exploiter, which gave him huge advantages. So why is he the lowest on the list? Spoke was in his prime early on, but the deeper we get into the series, the more his exploits disappear. They didn't show up again for almost a year, until his newer video where he could become invisible. One thing that could put him much higher is the command block he once had. I've tried tracking it, and I never saw it destroyed, so I believe it's still in his ender chest, though he hasn't used it, and we don't even know if he still has it. Spoke's PvP skills are not great. In almost every fight he's seen running away or stalling for his friends to help him. He also depends heavily on others, and the only things that make him strong are his exploits and manipulation. Parrot is next on the list. He's better at PvP than Spoke, and instead of just tricking players, he can come up with creative strategies on the fly. He also has more connections and is much more well-liked. That allows him to be able to connect with other players, building huge traps, plans, or anything he could need. Parrot still lacks in some areas, but overall he performs better than Spoke. Parrot has some friend issues and also doesn't communicate that well with others, leaving people empty in his process. He also gets overconfident and gets himself in areas he shouldn't be in compared to Spoke. But let me know who you think is stronger in the comments. Jaden is the leader of the pirates with his own army and civilization. He owns both a mace and a riptide trident, making him a terrifying opponent. He can build well-organized armies, even recruiting people like Theo. His downside is that his armies often lose easily to other factions. He ends up recruiting random chungies at spawn to replace losses. His mace is also useless most of the time because he relies on his riptide trident. If it's not raining, he loses his mobility and becomes much easier to kill. He can use other weapons well, but the rarity of his main gear drags him down. Theo is an impressive fighter across multiple game modes, especially cart PvP. When using cart PvP, he can also clear out huge groups of people, which give him good defensive capabilities and take on larger fights. He's also one of the richer and more confident players on the server, and he isn't easily tricked. He's a well-rounded fighter who doesn't rely on one gimmick. His weaknesses include struggling with large numbers of enemies after his carts are gone, and his carts, his main strength, are resource-heavy and can run out fast, since each cart takes up one inventory slot. With that in mind, it can impact how much he can carry, which can hold him back. Lakerek is skilled in PvP like the last two players, but what sets him apart is his control over the orbital strike cannons. Using massive destruction as long-range attacks already makes him dangerous. But there's more. Lakerek is extremely wealthy. He has tons of resources, god apples, XP bottles, armor, and much more to help him in battle, making him harder to kill. He also knows how to use the Forge, a location we still haven't fully seen, though I do plan to go into that in another video. But due to limited screen time and the competition ahead of him, he falls just shy of the top 10. FairyMC makes it into the top 10. He's one of the best PvPers out there, ranking in the top 50 worldwide. He has excellent PvP skills, wealth, and connections, including being second in command in Clownpierce's empire. He also was part of the Invisible Mafia. He also had a mace that could prove very deadly with how he plays, though we don't see it that much from FairyMC. However, he did get captured by two birds and a guy with a big ego, which drops him below some of our next contenders. Clownpierce ranks 9th. Known as Minecraft's deadliest player, he has killed thousands of players and sits around top 6K worldwide, usually high tier 4 or low tier 4 depending on the game mode. He also controls an army that dominates the Nether, giving him a massive resource advantage. He's far richer than most players and has strong teammates like MC. He doesn't have special abilities and utilizes a mace though, and the next players simply have more power through other ways. Lettuce is very different from previous players. He leads the law and focuses not just on skill, but on reputation. He's above average in PvP, but his true strength is his ability to gather massive armies. He also uses different strategies based on the opponent, like when they used weakness arrows on flame frags and employs various traps. A bonus detail. In Solo Player versus 1000 Minecraft Hunters, Lettuce hinted that the hunters were villains who could redeem themselves by killing flame frags or Wemu.
I wouldn't waste our lawmen on this. What kind of idiot plays all their cards in one move? You know, most of those guys were enlisted just days before. Some of them were criminals. I offered them a second chance if they did just one fight.
Nobody would attempt that unless they feared the consequences of upsetting Lettuce, showing how feared he actually is. Just think about it. This man can pull out 1,000 members out of not even his main army and had some really talented players like Ven, who was almost 2v1ing Flame and Wemu. Lettuce has almost an invisible mafia, but at a cut-down version with less resources and worldwide grasps. You might expect Wemu to be the strongest, but this is where we put things into perspective. Although he's one of the most loved creators, he's often overcredited. Wemu is extremely strong. He uses the Elytra Mace combo better than almost anyone. He can take on nearly any opponent and hundreds of players at a time. He also has access to orbital strike cannons. But he has weaknesses. He's predictable. He's easy to trick. He specializes in one main style while lacking in other areas. Against Flame and other strong opponents, he often struggles or barely survives. Flame Frags is overall stronger than Wemu through pure skill. He also uses the mace and elytra sometimes, but in a pretty equal skill level as Wemu. He's extremely adaptable and can switch tactics instantly. Gear, location, and disadvantage don't matter too much to him. He's also very hard to kill, even without plot armor, and his special ability to summon hordes of dogs gives him chip damage, distractions, and even speed boosts due to their hitboxes. His downsides are being easily manipulated outside of combat and not being that wealthy, which can put him at a disadvantage. ItzRealMe ranks top 5, being the second best Minecraft player in the world. He's one of the best PvPers we've seen. Extremely rich, dedicated, and insanely smart. He can handle any situation he's put into. He's basically what would happen if you combined Wemu and Flame Frags into one super soldier, mastering both mace and sword combat. And the wild part is that he doesn't even need abilities to reach this position. Around a month ago, while looking through the Unstable wiki, some people found hidden information teasing Marlo's existence in the SMP. Her name appeared on the bounty board in Baiti HQ long before she showed up, and now, in a recent video, she has finally appeared after months of teasing. Marlo is the best player in the world, mastering every form of combat. She rarely speaks and is terrifyingly skilled, and is even better at elytra mace combat than Wemu. She also has a unique ability. Whenever she arrives, everyone around her goes blind. When the blindness fades, she's standing right there, ready to kill someone. We don't know if she's teleporting, or if the blindness is the ability itself, but her heartbeat audio getting faster before she appears out of nowhere suggests it's teleportation, especially since we never hear rockets or any movement when she arrives. Though I plan to get more into Marlo in a future video. These final players are so strong that crossing paths with them is basically a death wish. Swag is the leader of the Invisible Mafia, the biggest army to ever exist on any Minecraft server. He has massive wealth, endless connections, and complete power. He owns the majority of the server's resources. He had the best players, hundreds of thousands of chungis and bases everywhere. No one was ever safe. He could kill anyone, torture anyone, disappear on command, and even if you killed him, thousands of people would die with him, leaving blood on your hands. He also has an ability similar to Marlo's, where he can appear out of nowhere, just in a less dramatic way, blending in like he was always standing there. This easily puts him in the top 3, but still, who could possibly be number 1? True Original is a master hacker, capable of controlling the server. Many believe he may have connections to the admins, and if you're curious about that, watch my theory video on how True Original could be connected to the admins. Now here is some of the many abilities True Original can do. True Original can move at light speed. He can mine out large portions of the ground, wipe players' inventories, teleport players, clone himself, disguise himself, slow down time, and so much more. Hey, you want to mace me, Wemu? Well, let me clear your inventory. Hey, you're far away? Let me shoot you with super arrows that deal high damage. Going to team on me? Let me duplicate myself, then fly up and mace you, and if you try to hit me, I will teleport away. There is almost no way to counter him. He's nearly impossible to kill. The only reason he died was because Parrot and Nullfly used an invisible orbital strike cannon against him, something nobody could have survived except one person. The director is the strongest, not because of fighting skill, but because of intelligence. He's the smartest player on the entire server, able to calculate every action and counter any attack from miles away. He has endless resources, cannot be tricked, and knows everyone's weaknesses. He can bribe people, threaten them, manipulate them, and put players into illusions. The director writes his own story, literally. He doesn't need special abilities or powers. His mind alone guarantees he will win. The only reason he ever lost was because the closest person to him turned out to be his greatest weakness. Besides his only downfall, he was so powerful he could control any of these players mentioned, and most likely has infinite wealth determined on how he could get anyone to work with him, besides threatening people to get his way. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much for the support. We just recently reached 1K subscribers, and it's so awesome starting to build a small community. And if you want to help decide which videos come next, or see any leaks I can get my hands on, make sure to check out my YouTube polls. Anyways, this has been The Connector, now disconnecting.